Shalom. My name is Yehoshua. This is a comment on the press conference by Senator Obama regarding Rav Wright's his speeches and his comments. First, I think that on balance, and in fairness to Reverend Wright, he genuinely sees and believes what he sees is not completely correct or accurate, and I agree with Senator Obama that there's some misperceptions here. But specifically, I'm talking about the attack on the black church in America. He has seen it. He's lived it many times, far more than yourself, Senator Obama. And there is a very significant element of maliciousness and content manipulation and extrapolation, and the articulation was wrong. But as I said in a previous video, even I have said I don't use I don't use the Lord's name in vain, but I've said the equivalent of damnations in respect of the government of America. I'm an American. I was born and raised. I have 3 adult children who are now grown up, who live in America, grandchildren. I'm Yehoshua, a didactic scientist. I live in Jerusalem for 22 years. And I would say to you this, look at the fullness of his comments and step back and take a breath. And even though the political heat's up in the kitchen, let us understand that from a cognitive behavioral science perspective, number one, he's flaming for attention, and number two, he is defending his right as an individual in the context of what he sees himself to be, and that is a black leader, and in the defense of the black church. And he chose his venue in the NAACP to make these announcements, and I wouldn't be angry with him. I would see them for what they are. This is he was pushed very hard, and this is pushback, and he's correct, I think, very much so, in that there was some very significant parts of the response to his cursing America and his comparisons out of context as unfair. Now, on balance, I happen to agree that what you've said is that it has to be seen in the fullness of the context of a campaign and a reality that defines relationships. And you have a relationship to yourself, we pray, your wife, your children, family, community, the state, and the nation. And those difficulties that arose from his comments impinge upon those relationships. But I would step back again, and I would not be overly harsh or angry or judgmental. But I think your speech was necessary. I think you had to respond, and I think he intended to push you to this response. But I think that was also for attention. I think that this man has taken on the program that reflects exile. And he's been pushed very hard much of his adult life, and this was pushed back. Now, I would say one more thing that I think is very important. The collapse of the local reality globally has ended man and mankind's exile. Reverend Wright doesn't know that. Nor do you, Senator Obama, know that, nor do you know what it means. But when you do, you will understand that the story will eclipse the Obama campaign for president, and John McCain, and Hillary Clinton, and George Bush, and they all pale in insignificance. That story is already emerging from Jerusalem, and I will just summarize it. In 1991, I'm a didactic scientist. I observed the collapse of the local reality. And translating what that means in physics, if you have the local reality collapse, you're in the quantum reality. Well, the local reality's context refers to the model, anthropologic, sociologic, psychologic model of man and mankind's mind that governed his relations, his behaviors, everything in exile, which was giving to receive. I give, I get. And and that's what I meant when I said push back. That's where he's coming from, and that's the model. That's a secular humanist, which your mother of blessed memory could explain to you. This is what we all are. This is where we are in the ascent of man and mankind in history. Well, that local reality has collapsed. The question is what follows. And what follows is the quantum reality, which is receiving to give. In Hebrew, kabel b'shvilatet. So receiving to give means what? Receiving the authentic you. To give the authentic you, to your spouse, to Michelle, to your children, the two girls, and to your family, your community, and your nation. Now, having said that, that is where we are. That's where we are on the ascent of man. And I am about to start to make a series of videos that teach this on a global scale. And one of the first experiences that I have been very expertly advised to anticipate is that there's a world of atheists out there, and they're extremely well-educated and articulate and extremely influential in the world. And where did as a didactic science, that's a fancy word, by the way, for just self-educated, self-trained, but I would most humbly say that the God of the cosmos, the God of Israel, has helped very much and nurtured and blessed my ascent in learning and doing science. And so I've been able to see and perceive inductively and deductively through empirical and logical methods the fundamental changes on a global scale. Well, the bottom line is it's irreversible. Exile of man and mankind is ended, and the Reverend Wright doesn't know this. So he's operating in galut, in exile, and so are you. And as the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, you're going to have to make that ascent, and you're going to need help to do it and to understand it. And it's true, Reverend Wright isn't going to be able to provide that help to you. And so you're going to have to get that help from Jerusalem because it's a local call here. But it doesn't matter. We're all going to get that help, and we're all going to inhabit the quantum reality. And so my advice to you is be a little bit more tolerant, a little bit more patient, a little bit more compassionate with him because of the tremendous difficulties and troubles and distress that this man has had to cope with and overcome. And he has blessed you and your family and community very greatly, and he means there's nothing malicious in his intention, and he's made mistakes, and I agree with you. And but be more patient and compassionate, and give him the benefit of the doubt again in terms of judgment. But I agree with you that you have to stand at a distance and say those behaviors and responses are unnecessary and inadequate. So we bless you again in Kabel B'Shvilatet, receiving to give. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov from Jerusalem, and thank you for your conference and your sensitivities, and we bless you, and we understand your reasons for all of the things that you said, and we bless your campaign, and we wish you success. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov from Jerusalem. Thank you for listening.